fake nails. Woohoo! Look at that. I'm about to go on. I'm praying to God that He lets my brains work for once. And He protects me from myself.
We're on our mark and ready to go. Have a great show.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Welcome back.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Roseanne Barr.
It's so great to be here because I was thinking about it. You know, I kind of started my whole career here in Houston. I love you too. What a privilege it is for you to have me here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really do. Are you guys having fun, or are you here with your families? So let me take a quick rally of the troops here. Where are my peeps that are going to get really offended if I do not offend everybody? Where are my peeps here? Oh boy, good. There you are. There you are. Don't worry, I'm going to get them all tonight. That's right. Well, guess what? I moved here to Texas, too. Isn't that crazy? I really did. My son, I don't know, he's somewhere. My oldest son, he's somewhere here. And my whole family's here in the whole deal. Where is he? My oldest son, my youngest son, my grandson, my godson, my family's here. None of my daughters are here because they don't agree with me politically. They're libtards, so they didn't show up. But now I moved to Texas, and it's just beautiful because it's a red state, and I love that. And two, it's just beautiful. I bought a beautiful ranch. And what beautiful tundra we have here in Texas. Like, I look out my bedroom window, I can't believe it. I see all these gorgeous little tiny baby deer in my yard eating the grass around my pool. It's so fantastic, you know, because I can pull out my AR-15 and blow them just to smithereens legally. So fantastic. Open carry, bitches. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Anyways, anybody else been fired recently? Oh, well, we'll talk about that a little. For the people that have been fired, were you able to keep your insurance? It's kind of scary. I was able to keep my insurance, thank God. But then I started getting real nervous because my family, my sons and stuff, they're looking at me weird, like that maybe I'm worth more dead than alive, you know. I don't know. I get kind of paranoid about it because I watch the ID channel. And what with my big mouth and everything. Well, anyway, my two sons and my grandson and my godson, they're all here kind of to watch over me to make sure me and my big mouth don't squander no more of their inheritance, I guess is what they're here for. Man, I had a rough couple of years there. I got fired because basically I racially misgendered somebody I thought was a white woman. Huh? I know. I thought the bitch was white. It's true. They wouldn't let me explain. I don't. Here it was Memorial Day, you know, and I was at my mom's house in Salt Lake City, Utah, and it was Memorial Day. And I should say, I barely could sleep anymore because the network was running me ragged, making me do promos, which I hate, you know what I mean? I'd rather die than do effing promos, not the ones that Fox is asking me to do. I'm more than happy to do those. But I could never sleep because they had me go New York, LA, New York. So I couldn't sleep. I'm an old woman, 68, you know, so they told me, oh, try some Ambien, you know, so I did. I got on the Ambien on top of all my psycho drugs because I'm crazy. I'll just be honest. I'm completely crazy. Oh, thank you. You are too, I see. Thank you. No, but I've been on psycho meds and bipolar meds and, you know, antipsychotic drugs my whole damn life, right? It's no big deal to me. I shouldn't have mixed it with Ambien and then topped it off with 3 beers, though, I have to admit. I should not have did that. That caused me to lose everything, and so what happened, it's about 1 a.m., and I don't have such good eyesight. You may have read about that. And somebody sent across a picture, and it's about 1 a.m. there. And so I captioned it and passed out. Then I woke up. 7 a.m., and the whole goddamn world was on fire. My boyfriend came in there, he goes, oh my God, it's on CNN, that your tweet was racist. I'm like, what are you talking about? My tweet was racist. Muslim ain't a race. He goes, no. They're saying she's African American. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, no. Yeah, and ABC is on the phone. They want to talk to you. I'm like, oh, shit, I don't want to talk to no Hillary donors. After all I've been through on that show, you know, so I get on there, and the guy, you know, you can imagine. Oh, here's how the phone call starts. What possible excuse can you have for the egregious thing you have done? You know, and then just God and my upbringing comes in my head, and it's like, just tell the truth, Roseanne. You always got to tell the truth, right? Tell the truth will set you free. You know what I'm talking about, ma'am? So I'm like, you're right, Father, I'm just going to tell the truth. I thought she's white. It's like total silence. So I start tap dancing, you know, as you do when you know you're in shit. I'm like, hey, don't do nothing to my show, okay? Don't cancel me or do nothing to my show, fire me, nothing like that. I'll tell you what, just put me on the Jimmy Kimmel show and on The View and a lot of your other shows you got on the ABC channel, you know, where people, they've been in blackface and everything. I'll go on there, and surely they'll understand my mistake. Because surely they didn't get fired for that shit. And they'll understand when people do something really stupid. And so now they said, well, Roseanne, we'll have to see how the community, that's what he said, we'll have to see how the community reacts. Yeah, and in my mind I was thinking, what community? The baby blood drinking Democrat community, or or the Protect Harvey Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, and Prince Andrew community? Which community exactly are you talking about? But I didn't say it because at that time I was thinking it was more important to be nice. So I walk in and it's on CNN that they've canceled my show just 20 minutes later. And not only that, but they killed Roseanne. They killed her. Yeah. Yeah, I guess they thought they shut me up, but guess what? Anyway. Yeah, I didn't really care at that time because I couldn't sit in them writing rooms with those people one more second. I wasn't really that pissed what they did to me, but I was really mad what they did to my fans because they disrespected their own viewers, Because, like, we could have had her come on my show and she could have, read me the Who's It and she could have dressed me down. We could have had a teachable moment that they're all talking about. She could have come on. I could have had 15 times the ratings and I could have learned something on behalf and shown something to America, which I always wanted to do that very thing anyway, bringing people together and learn about each other, right? When we have made mistakes because we can learn to get along, for God's sake. But no, they didn't want to do that, and that pissed me off, and that's why I came back, even though I was like, why would you want to do that after what they did? But I came back because something's wrong with me or something. Something's in me. I just cannot let assholes win. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. I am not going to let rich, privileged assholes win. I'm not. And looking back, I believe that I actually got fired because I delivered an unbelievable audience of 28 million people to a show that had a Trump hater and a Hillary hater still loving each other, still living under the same roof as a family, still being American, and by God, they hated that. But whatever, it's all in the past now. It's been like 5 years or something. It was a weird 5 years. We've all been through some shit in the last 5 years, right? The whole country. We've all been through some shit in the last 5 years. Well, imagine my surprise when my agent called and said Fox Nation was offering me a big contract to do a stand-up special. Imagine my shock. I was shocked. I was happy but shocked. They sent along a contract, said, hey, we want you to do an hour or so of material, but no racism, sexism, transphobia, homophobia, anti-Semitism. I go, well, there goes my whole fucking act. What? And they said, and we want you to do very few swear words as well. But the F word I just used, ladies and gentlemen, is one of 3 times tonight I will be using the F word because my lawyers were able to go in and wrangle a 3 F word deal out of the Fox Nation's lawyers. And I accepted because it's kind of a challenge for me. I've never done an hour of comedy before with only using the F word 3 times. I thought, hey, this is a chance to try something new. Never done it before, so. I love you. You're sweet. Thank you so much for coming to see me tonight. Any Jews here tonight? Wow, a lot of Jews. That's pretty amazing. Hi. Hi, Jewish people. There's probably a lot more Jews, but they're kind of ashamed to raise their hand. Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm lucky. Nobody ever thinks I'm Jewish because I'm from Utah.
We all get to open our mouths.
Huh?
No more bitches with stitches. We get to open our mouths.
That's right, we do, but shut up, bitch. But anyway, I mean right on sisterhood. But anyway, no, it's kind of embarrassing to be a Jew, and I would like to take this opportunity to kind of apologize to the Gentile nations for the Jewish people. Like, like Epstein, Weinstein, and all these here. Sorry. I am a Jew, and people don't think I'm Jewish because I'm not from the East Coast or nothing. I'm from Salt Lake City, Utah. Any Mormons here? Hi, Mormons. Love ya. I grew up with Mormons. That was a weird place to be Jewish, though, Salt Lake City, Utah. Boy, my family, we stuck out like a sore thumb there in Mormon, Utah, because we only had the one mother, and so that was weird. She had to do all the mothering by herself. That was kind of rough on her. And my mother was the most beautiful Jewish woman in the Jewish community. That's what everybody said all the time. There's like, she looked like Elizabeth Taylor. That's what everybody said. And she had a gorgeous figure, my mother. And she managed to snare the one Jewish football hero at Westside High School, which was my daddy. He was a football hero there. He played center at Westside High, and he was a big old, football hero. And they called him Jerry Barr, the boy built like a barrel. So they were quite a couple. And they had me, and guess whose body I inherited? Not my mother's, but my dad's. A body built like a barrel, with no waist and no ass cheeks whatsoever. It was very sad for a girl. I had no ass whatsoever, I'm telling you the truth. Just a crack in my back is basically what I had. Very sad nobody wanted to date me. And plus, my mother and father were very concerned that I would never find a husband because I was fat and had a bad attitude and a big mouth. And I mean, they were really overly concerned about that I'd never get a husband. That was my whole life. You're never going to get a husband unless you go on a diet. I mean, no guy is ever going to want to marry you, what with you having no tuchus, that's what they say, no hips, no buttocks, no waist, and a big mouth, and you're always in trouble, and you're really fat, and nobody likes that kind of thing, you see. So you got to go on this. They put me on so many diets, the rice diet, the bird seed diet. They put me on every damn diet, and none of them worked. Finally, my mom said she finally got a guy for me to date. And I was suspicious right away. She's like, I found a wonderful gentleman, she called him, in the Jewish community that I think you'll be happy to know is interested in dating you. So right away, I'm suspicious, right? So she goes, so I don't know if this rings true for any of you. Probably not, because it's a whole different culture, I know. But the first thing that went in my mind is, I don't know if this happened to you, if this is familiar, is like, Mom, we're not related to him, are we? Does that ring true for any of y'all? And by the way she answered, because it took her a long time to answer, I knew that we were related, And it was Stu Bernstein, that big fat guy, that big fat slob of the Bernstein family. And all of them had eyes that went like this. The whole family, eyes. They never stood still, none of their eyes, And they were fat. Not that I should say nothing about fat, but the eyes. And plus, he's a chronic masturbator, which I guess he thought He thought we didn't see it or nothing, a guy. He thought he was disguising it, but I knew what he's up to, you know. He'd go like this, well, let's all go down to the Dairy Queen there and get ourselves an ice cream. What do you say? Sitting there on the couch or stand up, whatever, it's always like, well, let's go over to Safeway there and pick ourselves up. I knew what he was doing. So I'm like, no, I'm not. You know? So she said, well, you got to go on a diet then if you want it. So she took me this diet guide. This is, I swear to God, true on my kids' lives. I'm 16 and I'm fat. So we're out there. You know, we're waiting in the waiting room, and she waits to the last minute, my mom, to tell me, oh, Roseanne, by the way, the doctor is blind. And how he tells how much weight you need to lose is by feeling your body. I swear to God. So I'm in shock. So we go in there, and he rolls over in a wheelchair because he's not only blind, but he can't walk neither. He's a mess, nothing but mess. And he rolls over there and starts going like this. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Oh, mm-hmm. And he does my boobs, too. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. I'd say there's about 40 pounds of you that you need to release. Thanks, doctor. So he fixes it up that I go in there every day. I swear to God, this is true. And I get a shot of urine from a pregnant horse. Have any of y'all heard of that? Urine from a pregnant horse. Well, it makes your speed up. What's that, son? Your metabolism speed up, so you start losing weight, and I did. I lost a ton of weight. I lost so much weight that I got pregnant by the neighbor guy. So that was good. Anyway, that's another sad story, but yeah, I was kind of cute at that time, then I left home. I had all these fantasies living at home where I was just, you know, my mom's ugly daughter that stood in the corner chewing on my hair. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah. So I was kind of a loner. I had all these fantasies, you know. I didn't have no friends or nothing. Mostly in my room, living in my imagination. Number one, I wanted to grow up, leave Utah, of course. Two, I wanted to get out there and get my pork on, because we were not allowed to have any pork in my house. I wanted to move away so I could take birth control pills so that I would be able to have indiscriminate sex with every guy I ever met. And to get my own show named The Roseanne Show. And I'm so proud to say that I was able to make all of those dreams come true, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the validation. But anyway, due to the spam and my love of spam, which has never subsided, I think that's a large reason for why I moved to Hawaii, which I still live in Hawaii. Now I'm like half Hawaii, half Texas, which is cool. I love Hawaii. It's a fantastic place, but one thing we say over there, it is quite a short trip from aloha to a-hole. It's quite a short trip. Sometimes over there, and yeah, spam, that evens it all out. You probably read about me having macular degeneration and losing my eyesight and all that, right? So the fact of it is, I could grow weed over there in Hawaii, and that really helps me with my eyesight things, right? It is such a good medication. And that's another thing when I ran for president. I ran on legalization of marijuana because it's a good drug. Right? It really helps you if you have anxiety issues, which I do, because I get very anxious when I think I might run out of pot, so it's a very good treatment for that kind of thing. And you know what? The marijuana, it does help me with my driving since I can't see too good. And, well, I probably shouldn't even drive is the bottom line there since I can't see. And yes, it's true, I have hit a few people, but, you know, luckily I was not hurt, so, you know, it all worked out. But one day, my kids were coming over, and I haven't really talked about my kids too much. I have 5 of them, and, you know, my kids are probably like your kids. They're ungrateful, privileged little fucking bastards that have never had to work a day in their life for anything. You know. And they're too good for cheese, my kids. They're too damn good for regular cheese. So I was going over there to the health food store to get them the soy cheese because they're too good for real cheese, you see. So anyway, I go over there and I pull in, and some lady's sitting in her car looking over at me, and you know, I had a couple shots before I came to the store, you know, to help me with my focus and this and that. And she looks over, and I'm like, ah, God, I'm going to have to act like I'm nice, because she probably recognized me or some shit. So, yeah, I'm acting like I'm nice, which I do all the time. It's the least I can do. So, so she looks over at me, and she's like, you hit me. You hit me with your car, your fender. I'm like, I didn't hit you, bitch. What are you talking about? This is a Tesla. If I was going to hit you, it would have made some kind of a beeping noise. You know, the Tesla is prepared for hitting things, and it warns you. I didn't hit you, you crazy bitch. And I said, you know what you're doing? You just know I'm in show business, so you smell some money. That's what you're doing, right? You see where I'm going with this? A lot of people are like that. I go, you smell money because I'm in show business. You thought, you know, you can start some shit with me and I have to give you a settlement. That's what you're doing. You're not the first, and, you know, you're probably not going to be the last. She goes, that is not true, Roseanne. I'll have you know. She goes, I will have you know that I am also in show business, okay? The last 24 years, I was Bette Midler's dresser. I'll have you know that. I'm like, yeah, well, blowing cocaine up Bette Midler's asshole is not show business, is it? Then she moves in for the kill. I think you're driving around drunk, Roseanne. I said, I'll have you know, I am an actress. And I know how to maintain. You are an anti-Semite. That's what's wrong with you. Because that's what we Jews do when we're losing an argument, right? You are an anti-Semite. She goes, my name is Goldberg. I'm like, well, then I'm an anti-Semite. And I sped away in my Tesla home. When I went in, I noticed the front fender was all smashed in. Ooh. Uh-oh. Can you believe that it has been 2 or 3 years since we was all in the quarantine? Can you believe back that far? I'm glad you're out. I'm glad we can come out. What about all that quarantine? quarantine. Remember all that? You know, I figured out Q, it stands for quarantine. It wasn't any of that who's going to get arrested bullshit. It stands for quarantine. Q, the Great Awakening. You know why? Because you had to be with your goddamn family in the house and you couldn't get out of there. You couldn't go to the gym. You couldn't go to a restaurant. You couldn't get away. You couldn't go to nobody else's house. You were stuck there in the shit with your friggin' family and couldn't get away. That's why they say the Great Awakening. You had to deal with that shit and you couldn't run anymore. Dang. I was smoking a lot of cigarettes at the beginning of the quarantine there. After getting fired, I started smoking again, and I love to smoke. But my kids ganged up on they're like, you better quit smoking, Mom, because you're going to get COVID, and then you're going to have to go to the hospital, and they'll put them things down your throat and kill you like they do in New York. You better quit smoking. So I did quit smoking, and know what happened as soon as I quit smoking? As soon as I quit, I got the COVID. The minute I quit smoking. And then I read that cigarette smoking actually protects you from getting the COVID. That's what I knew. Everything was bullshit. It's all bullshit and nothing but lies. Every single damn thing. I've had the COVID 4 times now. And I lost all my taste, have no taste and no smell either, all this time. But I look at it like it's, a silver lining in the COVID cloud, because, I don't eat so much. I'm not wanting to eat everything because it don't taste that good, so I lost some weight, Thanks, Lord. Once I got the COVID, though, and saw that my kids weren't going to come over, I was like, man, I'm going to get the long COVID. I'm going to get that COVID that never quits. Woo, it's wonderful. I was like living in a rest home is what it was like there. I had an assistant that cooked for me and brought me tea, and none of my family ever came over. Oh, my God, it was so great. It was the first time in my life that I haven't had to, take care of nobody's kids or do their goddamn laundry or get out of bed and do shopping for any of that shit. I just laid there in bed talking to God and writing jokes. It was fantastic. I did not want my grandkids coming over because they're always sick and they make me sick all the time. My daughter thinks it's good that they're sick. Your mom thinks it's good that the kids are sick. It always drives me nuts. She goes, it's good they're sick because they're developing their what do you call it? Yeah. Their immunity. They're getting their immunities. It's good that they're sick. Yeah, well, I'm 70. What about my immunities, bitch? You bring over the kids with the green snot in their nose, and it takes me a month to get over it. Stay home. I'll watch them on FaceTime. Right? It was so much better. It was just great. How many of you's got the backs? Few of you probably had to get it, right? Were you forced to get the backs? Yeah. Boy, that makes me mad. They force people to get the backs. I hope they have to pay for that, what they did to us. Did you get any of that myocarditis or the facial paralysis or, the adult dropping dead syndrome or any of that shit? Get any of that? What happened to people? That they start believing for some reason that this government had their best interest at heart? What? My whole family's a bunch of libtards, as I said, and they was calling me a conspiracy theorist the whole time, but everything I said turned out to be true. Did they apologize? Hell no. They never apologize. They never admit they're wrong, do they? Now, my whole family is sick, what with blood clots and this and that and the other. They're all sick. I'm the only healthy one. I'm going to miss them. What happened to people, though? How could they line up to take these shots from this government, knowing that this government gave smallpox-infested blankets to the First Nations people, gave syphilis to black prisoners in Tuskegee, told us there was weapons of mass destruction before they leveled Iraq and destroyed Libya, told us Fen was safe, and then all the fucking fat people died. What happened? And they're like, hey, can I get that booster? Can I get that shot and those 15 boosters? Would you mind giving my daughter here that shot right in her eyeball after she's born? Could you give her 10 of those right in the eyeball? Could you give her a shot right in her little baby clitoris? Could you do that for me, Mr. Biden? What's wrong with people? What's wrong with them? These young pink pussy hat wearers, they want to be lied to. They want to be lied to because they are so used to it. You can't wake them up because you can't wake up people that are pretending to be asleep. That's what I figured. Nobody in their lives has ever cared enough to tell them the damn truth. It's our fault, us baby boomers. We ruined their lives. We lied to them all the way. We lied to them and ruined their lives. For example, my son, he's 27 years old. I'm very proud of him. He's the only one of my children who ever went to college and graduated. I couldn't be more proud. But what does he do with it? Just sits there in my office, took over my office. I can't even walk in my office, what with the empty beer cans and the dirty socks. And all he does is sit there playing video games all night long, every night. Call of Duty, what's that other one? Fortnite, Call of Duty, and what's that other one? Grand Theft Auto. That's his whole life, for God's sake. Sitting there asking me stupid questions I have no idea how to answer. Who's my real father? What am I supposed to say about things like that? I mean, these people, they have no concept of reality. They've been living in a bubble forever. Asking questions have nothing to do with the real world. What is my gender, Mom? What is my gender? Your gender is get a job. That's your gender. What are they thinking? Ask what is a woman? They don't know that. That one they're asking all the time. What is a woman? I'll tell you what a woman is. A woman is me. That's what a woman is, okay? A woman is someone who cleans up everybody else's shit. That's what a woman is. A woman is somebody whose boobs hang down to her knees with a prolapsed uterus from giving birth to 5 ungrateful little privileged bastards that have never had to work for anything in their whole damn life. My pronouns are kiss my ass. And I just want to say to all those girls that are all so damn upset about them overturning the Roe v. Wade thing, don't get so damn upset about it. You are never going to get pregnant. You got the vax. You're never going to have a baby. Chill out. Yeah. I do have a message for today's women. I'm trying to get the Kleenex out of this pocket. There it is. I do have a message for today's women. I think it's important. Women, keep your penis in your pants. There's no excuse for this kind of behavior. in this day and age. Take some responsibility for your own actions, women. These Me Too whores, they are so on my last nerve. You know what I mean? If you are going to go to a Disney producer's room at 3 a.m., are you kidding me? Then you're not going to turn around and cry about it and try to get some money out of it. You're not. The world has changed a lot since I was alive. I'm telling you, it's changed so much. When I was young, we gals used to go to parties hoping to get drugged, so we'd wake up pulling a train of 5 guys just for fun. And nobody thought anything about it. It was no big deal, you know what I mean? Remember when you were young and you got molested? It's your fault. Remember that? Remember? My mom's like, didn't I tell you not to go around old Joe when he comes to the corner on his bike? I told you to stay away from him. You know what he does to the young girls, and there you are running up there to the corner knowing what he is going to do to you, and then you complain about it. He buys us ice cream. We didn't do yoga stretches. Do you know what I mean? We didn't drink caramel pumpkin latte, macchiato, white woman caramel drinks. We didn't do that. We drank Tab and Fresca and shit that had saccharin in it that gave us liver cancer, and we were happy to have it. Because we were tough. Unlike you people, you young people. Privileged. Just privileged. That's what I realized in quarantine. Privilege really, it kills. Privilege is what ruins lives when you start thinking, you know, that the world needs to be pretty for you. Well, it don't. Right? Just because you got a degree in gender studies, that don't mean shit. You're not going to get a job no place. You can't even get a job at Ho Ho's Donuts. Didn't I tell you that? I told you. Privilege kills and bliss is ignorance. I turn those around. Bliss is ignorance, right? I have 3 different litters of children. I say that I had 3 different litters with 3 different men because I'm a whore, you know what I mean, lady. And parenting has changed so much too since, you know, back in my day. It's changed so much. Who else has teenagers in their 50s? Yeah, I have 3 daughters. I told you they're very liberal, but they're in their late 40s and 50s. 3 daughters in menopause, that's when you know you're old. For God's sake, that's when you know you're old, right? I can't believe how fast it went, too. Oh, my God. They tell me, you know, the things they come up with now. They're like, Mom, the doctor, they want us to take testosterone for our symptoms. They're trying to give everybody crazy-ass hormones from the time they're 2 all the way up. Giving women testosterone to treat their perimenopause is insane. I'm like, great, now you'll be lifting weights and watching football. I wouldn't take it if I was you. That's just asking for trouble. You know, because your IQ is going to decrease by half, and then you're going to just start peeing on toilet seats for no good reason whatsoever. It's just, I don't think it's good. But I kind of think maybe I shouldn't have left the Democrat Party so early, what with their full-term abortion stuff they're doing these days. Because I'm thinking, hey, another couple months, they're probably going to move right into, I'd be able to abort these bitches by the time they're 50. I bet they're going to move right into, you know, I mean, it's coming. That'd be cool. So things aren't what they seem. Like, my brother and my sister are both gay. I've mentioned that before. And both of them are married to their gay partners that they've both been with for 34 and 35 years, which is pretty amazing, considering, yeah, it's great. They've raised children. And, you know, I'm heterosexual, and I've been married 9 or 10 times. So you can't ever, go with the stereotype for things. But they're progressive parents, though, and I can't stand that. Progressive parents. I can't stand it. It don't make any sense, the way they just let their kids get away with shit. They just, like a rubber band, stretch it to the end, My sister, she never quite puts the hammer down on her. She has twin lesbian daughters that are, that's what I call them, they're not really lesbians. But they're like 21. She never really put the hammer down. They could get away with anything, Not like my kids. I really, I'm there on top of my kids. My kids can't get away with anything that I know about. But, yeah, she's like, I'm going to count to 5, like that's some big threat. You know what I mean? That progressive. 1, 2, 3. I'm like, you gotta hit these bitches. If you want them to do right, you gotta hit them. You gotta hit your kids. I have to say that. We need to hit them more. And why has it fallen to me to be the person to have to hit everybody's kids in the grocery store? Why has that fallen to me? But there they are in the grocery store. Their mom don't pay no attention to them because she's too busy photographing her ass. For her Instagram page, where the kids are running wild. It just really gets me. It's like, why did you have them? Now I'm like kind of on a bender about it. So of course I'm gonna hit them. I'm gonna have to. Somebody has to. What are you gonna do? Go over there, hey, stop doing that. That ain't right. Didn't your mother tell you that? Keep your hands off stuff and don't stick your nasty fingers through the plastic. Do you understand me? And I'm like, ma'am, did it ever occur to you when you had these little bastards that you were going to bring them to a public place where other people would have to care for them while you took pictures of your ass? It just gets me. It really gets me as I'm jealous of anyone who has an ass, first of all. Because I was born assless in an ass-based economy, and I'm bitter about it. I never thought I would see the day when a woman goes into her husband and says, honey, do these pants make my ass look fat enough? There's no men left in our country, have you noticed that? All the men, they want to be women or else they're just complete pussies and losers. Have you noticed that? There's no men with any kind of spine left. They've all been beaten down. What happened to the men? Are there any men here tonight who would define themselves? Oh, sure. Really? Okay, well, let's take this little test. You think you're a man, huh? You think you're strong, yeah? Mr. Man, well, let's see. I defy any of you men who say you're strong and manly and this and that. Well, I defy you to go home tonight and tell your wife or girlfriend that she needs to sit down and shut her yap. So you need to sit down and shut up and get off every other woman in the world's case. Stop bitching about every other woman and trying to stir up shit for them. Close your mouth and make me a sandwich. Things would be a lot better. Am I right? And I bet none of you will do it either. None of you will do it because you're scared shitless. I know it. Women are, I don't know what, something has happened to women and they're just all completely brainwashed. We'll do anything for dick. Anything for dick. What happened? We used to like freedom and liberty and this and that and being independent. Now it's anything for dick. Putting plastic in your boobs and your butt, your calves, your eyes, your cheeks. Just to get some guy to get what? An erection around you? For God's sake. Dancing around erect phalluses. That's your whole world, for God's sake now. You're dick-motized, you're dick-tarded, for Christ's sake. What is that about? You're on hormones. Wake up. They've got all the women on the hormones because this is what they told me, Roseanne. Unfortunately, the only thing thin on you is your vaginal walls, and so you need to get on hormones so that they'll plump up and you'll be able to enjoy sex with your boyfriend. What? Those days are over. It's just over. You shouldn't even, right? You people don't agree with me. Who's older than me? Who's older than 70? How old are you? 71. 71. What's your name? Kathy. So you're all a big sex fiend? You're 71 and you're a big sex fiend. Is that what you're saying? Not at all. Oh, you identify with me that we ought to be over all this. Is that what you're saying? I love you, girl. You've got a working brain there. Good, I'm glad. Now, how many of you women are trying to plump up your vaginal wall so you can have sex with a guy you've lived with for 15 years and are sick of? I'd like to know that. Well, anyway, I'm old, like I said, and I was thinking about a lot of people have a bucket list, you know. I don't really want to bungee jump off the Eiffel Tower or any of that shit. I got a fuck it list. Yeah. Stuff I want to stop doing before I kick the breathing habit. It's way easier, you know. Stop doing. Like one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stop pretending to be interested when old people pull out pictures of their grandkids, you know? Like, put that shit away. That kid looks like an albino monkey in braces. Put that shit away. I'm never going to nobody's wedding if they've been married more than 3 times. It's like, let me know if you're still together after 7 or so years, and I'll send you a toaster or something. Whore. I'm not going to listen when old people start griping about their medical issues. That really God, that makes me mad. Well, Roseanne, you know, I've got the sciatica and the fibromyalgia going this way and that, meeting up here at the waist, going down my leg here, and it's really painful, and I can barely, I had to go to the doctor the other day because I could barely bend over and move there. So. Hey, why don't you do me a favor and just die already, okay? Because I'm your friend. I'll put in an appearance at your funeral, but I just don't have time for this shit now. Another thing, I'm not going to be nice to those Jehovah's Witness people that come over there knocking on my door asking me where I plan on spending eternity. I'm going to say, come on in. Come on. But you got to take your pants off because it's Satan's birthday. And last but not least, I'm never going on another date with Bill Cosby. You can believe it. Never. My butt hurt after that. Okay. Well, another thing in the quarantine is that I was getting in touch with my psychic abilities while I was there all by myself there. And so I know there's probably some of you here that wants me to do a psychic reading for you while we're all here together. If you've got a question about your future, and it needs to be a real question, you know, thought out, I'll give you a minute. A real question regarding your future, you might be very, very surprised at how accurate I am and how psychic, how very, very psychic I am. Okay, is there anybody who wants me to answer their psychic? Yes, over here, sir.
I bought a very expensive trip for my wife and myself to go to Homer, Alaska for a vacation, our anniversary.
Oh.
I just want to know if I'm going to get lucky.
No, you're still going to have to fuck her. I'm sorry to say. So no. I'm sorry to say that. Boy, I said it already 5 times, didn't I? I failed. Sorry, sir. You're still going to have sex with her, so you won't be getting lucky. Yes, ma'am.
Will I get married?
Will you get married? Do you have somebody you're engaged to? And do you know anybody you want to marry? You haven't met nobody to marry yet? You've been married once, but you don't know nobody, and what's your time limit? Because you look like you're getting long in the tooth. Do you have a time limit? You don't need to have any children or nothing, so you just want companionship. Okay, let's see. What's your name? Carolyn. Carolyn, where do you live? Michigan. Oh, yeah, they like to marry there in Michigan. I think you will be getting married within the next 6 months. I see it. It's going to be a wonderful woman. You're going to really fall madly in love. It's going to be a fantastic thing. Good luck. Let me know how that works out. You, sir, in the blue.
Yeah, I've been working out and taking keto diet for about 4 months now. Am I bringing you back to my 42 suit again?
You've been losing weight, and you wonder if you'll get back to wearing your size 42 suit again. Yes, you will, sir. They'll bury you in it. You're welcome. But yeah. A tour in my future? I do. They were talking to me about it, and I said, yeah, I think so. You know, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good. You know, I might do a tour, right? Because I think that I'm spreading the love, you know. I think that I'm helpful with getting people to spread the love, you know what I mean? Like right now, I have a very good suggestion for all my fans and all y'all here that I love you so much. Now, a lot of us are on antidepressants, and we're very depressed and this and that over the quarantine and the fact of what they've done to us, what we've just lived through. But I found a way, drug-free, alcohol-free, to be able to lift my own spirits, and I want to pass it on to you. And it really, really works, too. Now, what it is, what I do is I write suicide notes to everyone in my family. Blaming them for my death. And it really helps. I mean, it really lifts me up in my spirits, you know? It really, really does. It's so wonderful. Dear Mom, remember those party dresses you sewed for me and forced me to wear to 3rd grade because you said they were slenderizing? The ones with the hoop skirts that I couldn't lift up fast enough or push out of the way on the potty, causing me to pee on the back of them, and then to be laughed at by all the other students the entire day. Well, now it seems that I've killed myself, and I just want you to know that you're to blame. Had you been a better mother or seamstress, I might be taking those Western swing dancing classes with you and your new boyfriend, Arnie, right now. But instead, I'm stiff and cold and hanging in the closet like that goddamn dress. Thanks, Mom. It's just amazing how it's lifting. Dear daughter, when you called me a racist, simply because I told you that your boyfriend was an unemployed, crack-smoking Mexican fellow, that in no way meant that I don't love the Mexican people themselves, as I do. As I pointed out to you, you could have picked a Mexican gentleman who didn't smoke crack, had a job, and no facial tattoos, and I would have celebrated with you. But now I'm rolled up in the dirt like a burrito, and it's your fault I'm dead. Hasta la vista, baby. And something that really, really pisses me off here. Dear McDonald's, your refusal to offer the McRib sandwich year-round, because you never know when it's going to come back, do you? You think they could afford some kind of advertising plan where they'd say, the McRib, that comes on July 4th. July is the time for the McRib. Or they could go, Christmas is for the McRib, or just anything. But no, they never tell us when it's going to come back, do they? So we can't plan our lives or anything. Dear McDonald's, your refusal to offer the McRib sandwich year-round has left me with no other choice than to wash down a fistful of Vicodin with a jumbo bottle of vodka from Costco. Because you, sirs, have barbecue sauce as well as my blood on your hands. And I'm loving it. And finally, dear ABC. But as I was watching the ID channel, this commercial came on, you know, and it goes, sometimes suicide is misplaced homicide. And then I was like, hey, that gives me a whole new idea of what the hell here. Dear ABC, when you asked me once again to come back and bail out your shit low-rated network, I did so with the same sass and vigor that I've always delivered. And I gave you the highest ratings you've seen in 10 years. Unfortunately, network executives are not what they used to be. It was your bright idea to kill off my character and throw me under every bus that you could find. Well, guess what? I'm not the one that's dead, bitches. Ladies and gentlemen, my final message of the evening. Don't wait till it's too late to tell the people you love how you really feel about them. I think that's the message I really want to give to you all. Tonight, go home, tell those you love to fuck off right now. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Love you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for all the support you've given me all these years.